If you ever wanted to invest in an influencer marketing campaign, but you're a little bit scared, it's risky, you're not sure what's going to happen, or maybe you have invested in influencer marketing and you've got burned. Today, I'm going to go through a scenario that if I had $5,000, how I would spend that $5,000 to make a 10x possible return of $50K on that one investment. So we're going to get into it in this video and give you some practical ways to go about doing this. For those of you new to the channel, the podcast, however you're listening or watching to this, welcome. My name is Joey Valancourt, and I run Partner Profits, which focuses on building businesses using partnership marketing strategies, including influencers and affiliates. So first off, I would say, there's a good prospecting exercise you need to run through. And if you go to partnerprofits.com, look around, there's some really good research and videos that you can watch in order to get trained on how to target and find the right influencer for your business. But in this case, we're going to say that we have found the right influencer, and we're going to target somebody that we're going to pay probably $3,000 to $4,000. So this isn't going to be an influencer that has like 500,000 or 1 million followers. It's going to be more of a micro influencer, however you want to call it, maybe 25,000 followers or less, but we're going to pay them around $3,000 to $4,000 for this campaign, and up to about $5,000 with some of the steps that we're going to take in advancing the campaign. So step one, we're going to have to invest in the influencer and the social post, and we're going to do this basically, we're going to give them the script. We're going to give them the playbook, the formula. We're going to dial in the messaging and marketing well before we ever even start to work with this influencer. But once we do, we are going to then give them the winning formula and get that UGC created by the influencer and invest in them with the flat rate cost. Number two is we're going to get their testimonial. So this is baked into the contract. Before even signing with them and agreeing to do the UGC, they're going to have to sign off on all these next steps. So make sure to listen to the end of the video to get all this dialed in into your agreement before you actually go and get it signed, because you don't want to take this as the second step, but it's the second step in the process. And that is, you need to get their testimonial. Now, they have to try the product. They have to like the product, and they have to be willing to do this testimonial for you. But you're going to want to get them on camera, because this is the easiest to actually then get it to transcribe and get the written text form of it versus just the video, because you want both. You want the written video, or you want the video and you want the written text on the page, and then you want them and a photo of the product so that you can put this on the page. Now, this always increases conversions. I've seen anywhere from a 5% conversion to a 20% conversion boost. So basically, instead of 5%, you're actually converting to 20% just by putting on the hero image, and a hero image with the product's even better, testimonial, and a video testimonial is even better as well. So you're going to want to get that onto a custom page and get them a custom link that we're going to talk about in a second. Number three is you're going to set up a retargeting sequence. Okay, so a retargeting sequence is, given that you have given them a unique link and their audience is clicking that link and they're going to a page that's meant for that influencer alone, you have an opportunity to place code. I'm not a big tech person, so I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly how to set this up, but you are going to set up a retargeting sequence that basically, if anybody hits that page, once they've hit it and if they didn't buy, you're now going to retarget them on different social platforms. This is, of course, provided that you have Google placements and ad spend going into these markets like Facebook or IG or TikTok or wherever you can advertise in a retargeting campaign. But you want to get that dialed in prior to, because if not, they might go back and purchase, but you're not going to be able to attribute it back to the campaign. And the key to this is you want to set up attribution that ties back to the initial influencer's post so that you know just how effective it is from an ROI standpoint. Then number four is, we just talked about links, but yeah, you're going to have to get them to post with a code, a link, and tag you. You never just want them tagging you alone. If they just tag you, you're not going to have any attribution, okay? You need a code, you need a link, and yeah, it's like a discount you're going to give the customer, but that's okay. And yeah, the code might get used by someone else who maybe didn't come in exactly from the influencer. That's okay. Remember, are you abundance or are you scarcity? Are you worried and pinching pennies? Or are you thriving and making millions? Okay, so continue to focus on abundance. Codes are a good thing. And if not a code, add value in some way. Give a gift with purchase. Give an exclusive offer of some sort that's unique to that influencer that makes that audience and customer want to follow through with the purchase from the influencer and not just abandon ship and potentially go to Amazon or somewhere else that you can't track attribution. I want to track attribution from my influencers and I want them to get paid. Bonus tip too is if you can use some sort of automation in a DM sequence, meaning if the influencer posts and they're posting about your product, they could say, instead of like use this code and get a discount, they could say, comment this word below and I'll send you a code or I'll send you a gift. So that now they're entered into, it's a ManyChat sequence or a DM sequence, an automated basic campaign that then markets them after the initial post and make sure that they click an actual link through that DM sequence. Number 5, you're gonna ask them to repost. Now this is just like a favor. The way I like to preface the conversation with the influencer is, hey, we loved what you did. Obviously we believe in this relationship. We wanna continue to invest, but maybe our ROI wasn't at the level we need it to be. We'd like to do just one more small push. Could you maybe do a make good for us? That's what they call it in the industry. It could be called something else depending on who you're working with. But essentially it's doing a little bit of extra value to get a bit more benefit and push that bottom line just a bit more. Now, if you're crushing it out of the gate, you might not want to do this, but if you're like at a break even or you just want to squeeze a little bit more out, I would definitely ask for that extra post. Number 6, you're going to want to license their content. Now, this is where the post costs around $3,000 to $4,000. Okay, we invested for the UGC, the person's time, they did the content. Now we're going to take that extra money that we didn't spend that equates now to the 5K. So it's an extra maybe $1,000, $1,500, and we're going to bake in now with ads. So again, you have licensing rights, part of this agreement. You might have to pay them a percentage of ad spend or a percentage of profits. I'd prefer profits, by the way. You never want to pay on ad spend because it's a perverse incentive, but that's usually the industry norm. But you're going to bake that into the model, so it might cost you more, but if you're winning and you continue to make more money with this ad, and all you have to do is pay them an extra 5%, that's a win in my mind. But what you're going to do is you're going to put some ad spend behind this now. You're going to take that UGC, you're going to put it onto Facebook or whatever ad platform you're using or Instagram, and you're going to now start to use either their profile, which is called creator licensing, or like basically you're going through their profile to advertise to their audience as if it's their own ad instead of your ad on your company site. And you can do both. But this is the way that you can actually scale this post, because you're not just going to scale off of one post. Long term, you might scale the relationship where they're posting more often, but the way to leverage this post is to continue to amplify it through ads. And number 7 is to just do more with them, okay? You've built this relationship. You've already put in the hard work. You got them to say yes, you paid them, you've got them to get you back assets, you're doing their ads with them. Now you want to continue to do more with them. This could include renegotiating a hybrid deal, okay? And a hybrid deal is you've just paid them a flat rate for the UGC content. Their time is worth money. You need to pay them because it took time to actually create this. They had to put everything in their cameras and transfer it and all this kind of stuff. But now it's like, you got to build the bigger picture for them. What's the super fan journey look like to them? What's the ascension model? How can you now graduate them to be, hey, I don't want to just pay you. I want you to be part of our team. And I want you to be rewarded for your performance because you're doing really well. So why don't we do something where we pay you a little bit less, but we give you a performance-based incentive? And it's affiliate commission, right? And give them the absolute highest tier you can, because in my opinion, it's way better to give out more commissions than it is to pay flat rates that are much more risky when it comes to working with influencers especially. And then the other thing you can do is you can add more channels. So if you started on Instagram and you did this whole playbook, then that's great. They might have a podcast now. They might have an email list. They might have a bunch of other audiences that is separate from Instagram. So don't think just because you advertise to their Instagram audience that you've saturated their market or their fan base, because you haven't. Some people are prone to buy off Instagram. Some people are prone to buy when they're on their desktop and they're checking their emails. So you really want to hit up their audience in multiple ways. And what we've found from doing this is that sometimes this amplifies the effect that it has on their primary channel. So meaning maybe you did an Instagram post with them, but then you did an email drop or an email newsletter, sponsored placement. Basically, they mentioned it in your email, their email, and all of a sudden their Instagram sales go up as well as their email sales. So it's like people need multiple touch points when it comes to marketing. That has never changed, and it's going to continue to probably get more, like you're going to require more touch points in order to make sales. So this is the key to doing that, is just continue to do more with them. So those are the top 7 ways, and I guarantee that you can continue to implement this, and the $5,000 could easily turn into $50,000 down the line. Now, the 2 bonuses that I'd recommend doing ask for intros. Once you've built that relationship equity with them, who else do they know, right? Like tap into their network because they're more willing to do this once you've already paid them and they like working with you. Bonus tip number 2, see who's commenting and interacting on their posts. They might have friends, and this is part of asking for intros, is first doing the heavy lifting of who do you want them to intro you to. Start making a list, and you can make that list either by knowing who they've been interviewed by, or by going into their comment section, or just seeing who's engaging with their posts, and then checking out that person's profile and seeing if it's the right fit of an influencer you'd like to work with as well. You can either DM them yourself, or you could hit up the person you're working with to ask for an intro, or I'd always recommend doing both. I would say, hey, we're working with influencer XYZ, and we really like, what you're doing, and we notice, you're on her posts and that you guys are interacting together. Would you be willing to have a conversation with us? In the meantime, I'm also asking the person I'm working with currently, hey, do you mind introing us to that person? So they're kind of putting in the good word for you. But this is the way you can totally amplify what you're doing with one influencer to the max. And if somebody was giving me $5,000 to work with an influencer on one campaign, and how I would scale that to the max ROI possible, this is the way that I've seen done with clients, and this is the way that I've continued to do it with clients. So hopefully you got some value out of this. If there's other things you've done to really get the max out of your spend, or something that you notice that is trending, that's working really well for you, this is a community of sharing. I want this to be an open conversation, and everything's evolving, right? So comment below, let me know what you think and what's working for you, and I'll check that out. Make sure to subscribe to both, YouTube channel, the podcast, everything you can do to stay in touch, because we talk about this all the time. And we also mention productivity things. And basically, I'm here to help you make more money and be more productive and enjoy the journey while you accomplish both of those things. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I will see you in the next video.